Hey folks, how you doing? Y'all see the title here. Now, I appreciate y'all for watching. If you can do me a favor, you can get my emoji gang. Y'all know what it is. A couple of emojis. It counts as a comment towards the algorithm. Please hit the like button if you actually like the production that I put forward. Okay, I'm going to have to speed up the audio and what you guys are about to hear because the source, they're very picky. 1 minute it's cool, next minute it ain't. I don't disparage them. Always, I used to put the links to their channel in the content, in the comment section. Guess it don't matter. So that's why you see a logo over their logo, because I'm speeding it up. I'm just trying to find a way, because I mean no harm. But let's go ahead and get this going anyway, because we gotta go. Now, let me go ahead and mute myself and let's start the show.
There are rising concerns over Chinese-made surveillance cameras in the government offices in Australia. Canberra has now removed more than 900 Chinese-made surveillance cameras, intercoms, electronic entry systems, and video recorders. An audit last week found that
Now, this probably can apply to just about any of us. But I mean, think about it. In your government offices, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some dum-dums here that's done it. I remember when everyone made their own cameras. Yeah, Japan used to make some of the best cameras, but also your Hasselblads, Minolta, which is Japan, Pentax, which is Japan. I mean, there was a lot of, but seemed China then cornered the market on everything. Now that's another different topic for a different video, but public, let's say, like you buying the Ring doorbell thing. I mean, I don't have one. I'd never buy one. But if you're going to buy Chinese closed caption TV cameras and put them in government offices, what were you thinking?
technology had been installed in more than 250 departments and agencies in Australia. Australia's cybersecurity minister had earlier called Chinese espionage and foreign interference the greatest threat to Australia's way of life. The minister said that all the cameras within his department's buildings will be removed, asserting how it was to make sure that the facilities are completely secure. China, meanwhile, has reacted to the order to remove the cameras as an erroneous action that abuses state power and discriminates against Chinese companies. Meanwhile,
I can hear Xi Jinping. Oh, Australia. What do you mean you remove a camera? We would not take a sneak peek at you. Xi Jinping wouldn't even dream of snooping on any of your government activities. Okay.
Australia is not the only country that has removed Chinese surveillance cameras. Similar moves have been made in the United States and in Britain, which have taken measures to...
In the United States, gee, imagine that. I'd like to know the idiot. Well, I mean, there's no shortage of idiots in our government, on both sides, on the red team and the blue team. But I digress. What were you thinking? Well, they promised they wouldn't. Oh, they promised. They promised. Oh, okay. Well, why didn't you say so? I'm old enough to remember when we made everything right here in the United States. Motorola was in Texas. Texas Instruments, hence the name, was in Texas. You trying to tell me we make the best tanks and bombers and whatnot on the planet? We don't make the best rifle. Well, the best rifle is one of the best rifles is American made, but it's not in the hands of our normal everyday troops, but that's a different story too. You trying to tell me that we can't make, of course we can, but you know why? You know why? Unions. Somebody want $30 an hour just to pick it up, put it in the box and wrap it when they can get the whole thing made for $30 abroad. Yeah, but then they charge you X amount. Yeah, I get it. But a lot of the U.S. manufacturers shoot the nation and the people, mainly the people, in the butt by doing some of the dumb stuff they do. Onward.
Stop the government buildings from installing Chinese-made cameras at sensitive sites. The two China-based companies that supply these cameras are Hikvision and Dahua. Hikvision is one of the largest manufacturers of video surveillance equipment in the world, selling it to almost 200 countries. Meanwhile, Dahua is Hikvision's largest global competitor and the second largest company in this space. According to the U.S. Department of Commerce, Hikvision and Dahua have been implicated in the high-technology surveillance of the Uyghur minority in the Xinjiang region. The U.S. had banned imports of surveillance equipment made by two companies in November last year, saying that it posed unacceptable risk to the national security. After UK, US and Australia, is India next in line? Prama Hikvision is India's largest surveillance camera supplier, with contracts for the government and the public sector firms. While India has banned several Chinese apps, Prama Hikvision was not among the affected firms. Dr. Malcolm Davies is a senior analyst at the Australian Strategic Policy Institute. Dr. Malcolm is joining us live from Canberra. Dr. Malcolm, welcome to the program. Is Australia's fear over Chinese-made surveillance cameras justified, and should other countries like India be worried or cautious?
Okay, Doc, I think I know what you're going to say, but let's hear it anyway. And I'm just using this. I'm not picking on Australia because, like you heard him say, U.S., but they didn't say to what degree, but just U.S. period. We done the same thing. You can't, I don't believe in coincidences. I just don't. This makes no sense. Well, Nick, that don't mean nothing. That you can get a German-made camera and the Germans can spy on you. Remember when Angela Merkel Okay, look, you're missing the point. We have the technology and capability to make our own in-house cameras. Well, how you know somebody won't go rogue and sell it to which one's a easier hole to roll? Tapping in from China, or fill in the blank, China, Russia, fill in the blank, or someone inside your own ranks doing something like that. Which one's easier or harder? Come on, man.
Look, it is justified. These are very sophisticated surveillance cameras being produced by Hikvision and Dahua. They have facial recognition technology built into them, so that allows them to identify individuals and then send that information back across the internet to China, to the Hikvision and Dahua organizations, which under the Chinese law are required to share that information with the Chinese Ministry of State Security, their intelligence organization. These cameras also have an audio gathering capability, enabling them to listen in on conversations. So we're concerned for the right reason, and I think India should be concerned as well.
Dr. Malcolm, critics say Australia should take a more systematic approach in the use of all critical data collecting communication technologies and also create rules for suppliers. What do you make of that statement?
Look, I think that the wake-up call for Australia came back in 2015 with the Huawei issue, where the Chinese company Huawei tried to dominate and control our critical communications infrastructure through 5G telecommunications. We quite rightly banned Huawei from that, and we led the way in terms of other countries following in our footsteps and banning Huawei. I don't think it's an overreaction on our part to now take a leading role in essentially getting rid of these sorts of surveillance capabilities. We should have done it some time ago because we've had other allies such as the US and the UK doing it. We're now having to scramble to respond to this challenge. And I think it's very clear that the Chinese are planting these cameras as part of a means to gather intelligence on Australian activities.
I forgot all about the Huawei thing. And well, it looked like it's pronounced Huawei, but it's Huawei. Remember, Xi Jinping had the heads of Huawei rounded up. I'm going to be careful with my words because the machine is listening, but anyone can use the search engine of their choice. You know, the ones that aren't available over there in mainland China. Hong Kong, yeah. China, yeah, no. And look it up. He won't, look, he wouldn't even let them make them think. Now, ask yourself this, and we're going to go ahead and let it roll. Do you think that China would, if the shoe was on the other foot, do you think that Russia and China and any of the old Eastern Bloc would purchase security cameras with facial recognition and enhanced audio from a United States-based manufacturer? If your answer is yes, then I have some beachfront property in Nebraska that I'll sell you for $20 an acre.
How much of a global threat do you think this latest development is?
It's a significant global threat in the sense that one of the key elements of future technology that is talked about is smart cities, where you have these Internet of Things based technologies that are always on, that basically provide information on a real-time basis about activities that are occurring in an urban area, be it traffic flows or be it issues in terms of urbanization and people control and so forth. Now, that can be used for positive in the sense that it could solve problems with urban environments, but it can also be an intrusion of privacy, and it gives states like China the ability to monitor people on a large scale. So, we're talking the fictional Big Brother here made reality. And I think that in a country like India, for example, where you have large urban areas with large numbers of people, smart city technology would be very useful for China to maintain a watch on individuals and key groups in India, including key defense and national security leaders who would be covered by these cameras.
Finally, Dr. Malcolm, greater scrutiny by countries like the United States, UK and Australia may further push Chinese surveillance companies to seek relationships in countries that are perceived as more stable commercial partners. Which countries could this be, and should they conduct due diligence before allowing these surveillance systems?
Well, look, I think it's fairly obvious that Beijing is seeking to promote the BRICS as an alternative power structure to essentially a Western liberal democratic order. India is part of that. And so I think that India, like the other BRICS members, do need to take this seriously, because ultimately what China is doing with the BRICS is seeking to create a power structure that it controls. And I think that smart city technology, these sorts of surveillance cameras that have facial recognition, that give the Chinese intelligence services the ability to maintain a watch over key individuals, their movements, their conversations, are a real concern. So I would strongly suggest that, whilst you're probably right, that they will concentrate on new markets, remember that it's Beijing that is trying to control those societies, control those markets. It's not some sort of equal partnership.
Dr. Malcolm Davis, thank you for your insights today on Beyond Wild is One.
Thank you.
If you think the Starfleet Federation would allow the Klingons to engineer their image cloaking device for them, I even have more land in Nebraska, a beachfront property in Nebraska to sell you. Oh, I got some in Arkansas too. I just got it. Tell me what you think, y'all. Tell me what you think. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. Y'all be good. And y'all be safe. See these guys here? Yeah, I don't think that they would be down for it either. The grand motif, he ain't having it. Bye.